Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. And we're continuing our look at Warhammer Quest, and with our continuing look at the White Dwarf issues that feature Warhammer Quest. And this is the second part of our White Dwarf examination. A couple of things. I've been asked a few times if I'm going to do a full Let's Play on Warhammer Quest. And the answer is I don't think so, at least not right now. After I finish this series, I definitely want to move on to something else. I definitely have spent a lot of time on Warhammer Quest. I think this series is going to end up being some ridiculous number, like seven hours long or something. Probably way too long for anybody's use, but well, that's how it turned out. As far as Let's Plays go, I'm not sure if I'm going to be focusing on those on this channel or not. I don't think they're my strength. I'm not a good rules person. And when I'm playing for the camera, I tend to get even a little more nervous because I know I'm going to be making even more mistakes, and people are going to be, going over each little movement and rule with a fine-tooth comb, and I don't find that very fun. It's not fun for me. What I find fun is doing these kind of broad overviews and in-depth in-depth overviews of the games, and hopefully quality reviews. And I think that is what I'm going to be focusing on. Some games I will give, gameplay examples. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about the Let's Plays. I do know for sure that I will not be doing a Let's Play series on Warhammer Quest right now. We will move on to another game after we complete this. I also don't know if we're going to take a look at all of the other issues. I do want to get through issue 191 because I think 191 has a really, really cool spread that I think people will be interested in seeing. So we're going to go through 3 more issues in this episode. And then I guess maybe depending on feedback or whatever, we will move on to the Death Blow issues next. And then we will finally end with the DIY stuff. And that should put the Warhammer Quest series to bed. It'll probably be like 12 or 13 parts by then or something. So anyways, let's get to it tonight. Enough housekeeping. So we're looking at issue 189 now. And you can tell on the cover here, we've got the Catacombs of Terror on the cover. Another great David Gallagher cover. And let's just start taking a look at here. I've flagged some stuff to look at, of course. One interesting thing is right here in the beginning. So first of all, we have the little what's coming up, the Catacombs of Terror. The second Warhammer Quest Adventure Pack has been completed and will be released this month. Now players can dare to enter the Catacombs of Terror. Loaded with great stuff, Catacombs of Terror contains new board sections, new cards, treasure, events, and a 48-page rulebook, and some absolutely fantastic Citadel miniatures. Watch out for the dreaded Lich Van Demneg the Deathless, the Grimoire Necris, an ancient and evil spellbook, and the hideously powerful undead Tomb Guardians. So once again, let's see, that was, I do have the price in USD here at $34.99, and then another treasure deck 4, which was at $8.99. The continued release of new packs of treasure cards ensures the Warhammer Quest players will always have exciting new loot awaiting them on their adventures. The latest edition, Treasure Pack 4, contains 55 brand new cards. That's interesting. I have treasure decks 1, 2, and 3. I was not aware that there was a treasure deck 4. I don't think that ever came out. I'm not positive. I need to double check on that. That is new information to me. So remember last time I showed you that picture of that giant stack of Games Workshop games you could win by taking their customer survey? Well, this is the guy who won right here. The contest winner. We have a winner for our Readers Survey Mega Prize drawing, Jim Edmonston from Logan, Utah. Lucky Jim has won one of every Games Workshop boxed game, Army book, and Citadel Miniatures box set currently in print. That's almost $5,000 worth of Games Workshop stuff. That is awesome. Part of me would just love to know what this guy is up to today. If he's still playing miniatures games, if he's still into board games, if he actually got all of that stuff. Really interesting. I'm glad that they put the contest winner in there because I thought that was a really cool picture of all that loot you can win. And here we have an ad actually to work at one of the Games Workshop stores. All right, so we're going to just kind of flip through here a little bit. And here we have an ad for the Treasure and Blank event cards. And let's see here. Let's go to here. So here we have the ad for the Dwarf Troll Slayer. So the Dwarf Troll Slayer I went over on my last video for the Warriors, and it was confirmed to me that the Troll Slayer mini I have was not the one that came in the box. It is another Citadel Troll Slayer mini. So that's a nice little ad there. And then finally we will look at another ad for the Elf Ranger. And then the main Warhammer Quest article in this issue is The Darkness Below. So this says, there are many lost catacombs and forbidding tunnels beneath the old world. Some of these cavernous some of these cavernous underground cities are so deadly that even the bravest and strongest warriors have perished in the darkened halls in their quest for gold and glory. Can your warriors face the toughest challenges and survive? The Dungeon. Warhammer Quest is a game of bold warriors battling against monsters through the caverns and catacombs that lie beneath the Warhammer world. The dungeon and event cards from the Warhammer Quest box set and those published in White Dwarf and the adventure packs allow you to explore a myriad subterranean dungeons and fight an almost infinite variety of foes. However, there are also other ways to make each adventure totally different from the last. Hopefully, this article will provide inspiration for those of you who like to meet the most daunting challenges and survive. So this article is just kind of ways of customizing your adventures, customizing your event cards, and different ways to set up your adventures. You had more traps, some hidden passages. So a hidden passage table was included. Then you have rules for like some more kind of buried treasure for searching the labyrinth. The dungeon is a massive maze of doorways and tunnels which lead off in all directions. The dungeon only contains one objective room and shuffled into the bottom 6 cards as normal. But all your other dungeon cards should be included. Every time the warriors explore a dungeon room, roll on the following table. So this was for like a really big kind of epic dungeon that you could just explore with all of your cards. And then once again, I just wanted to point out a couple John Blanche paintings here. There's one with a Skaven, and also a Skaven picture here. I love his art. And then we've got some more treasure cards here and a piece of equipment. We have a treasure map here and 2 pieces of treasure, the Globe of Detection and the Gem of Passage. And those would kind of help the warriors explore. And so that was it in issue 189. Okay, let's see. Now we will head over to issue 190. Got Necromunda on the cover here. And that was a cover by Jeff Taylor. I like Jeff Taylor's art, but I don't like it as much as David Gallagher's. His faces are kind of funny. I like the cartoony look of his art. And so here we have, this was announcing the release of the Chaos Warrior, one of the more fun of the Warrior expansions. And we also have a cool little, just a little snippet here. Andy Jones. So Andy Jones, the creator of Warhammer Quest, intrepid Andy Jones, designer of Warhammer Quest, was caught on film conducting rigorous field research for the next Warhammer Quest supplement. He is pictured here within the great tomb city of Kemri. Actually, it's the very ancient tombs of Messane in Greece. I don't know how to say that word. Sorry about that. Andy spent his time exploring the ruined catacombs of the Argolid Peninsula, some of which are over 4,500 years old. Luckily for him, the tomb kings of Kemri were out during his visit, and he only had to evade the horde of wraiths, wights, zombies, and skeletons. So I don't know if he actually went to these places to do research for the Catacombs of Terror, or if he was maybe just on vacation or something. But that's cool. You get to see him doing a little bit of research. And of course, some product placement, reading a white dwarf in an ancient ruin. And then a little bit about the Chaos Warrior coming out. The road to damnation is a gradual one, and those who take the first few steps towards eternal power must tread carefully, lest the gods be displeased. You can now follow that path as a Chaos Warrior, risking your life and soul for the dark promises of immortality and unequaled power. Okay, so that's about it on those pages there. Let's flip here. So this was an interesting kind of article expansion called Dark Secrets. Snorri Ironaxe glanced back over his shoulders, listening carefully for the faintest sound. As the other warriors investigated a trap door, the dwarf caught the sound of footsteps, the same footsteps which had haunted him for so long. It was no use. He'd have to tell them now. Brave comrades, he began. There's something you should know. So this is a little expansion that you draw a dark secret card before each quest. And these give the warriors a little bit of background and kind of a secret that they have to work with their characters. So it gives you a little chance of role playing, and then also adds a little bit of rules to the game. So one of your characters just might be, maybe he might be paranoid or greedy or something like that. But it's a really interesting way a really easy and interesting way to add variety to the games. And then you also have a little bit here about some of the warrior groups that the Games Workshop guys have played as. The Lost Boys, and that was Nogbad the Barbarian, Taliesin the Elf, Red Magnus the Wizard, and then he had Jonas Faithbringer, the Warrior Priest, Serrano Debignes, the Imperial Noble, and Skaggy Longbeard, the Troll Slayer. And then we get to the actual Dark Secret cards themselves, of which there are only 8. I think there is some fan-made expansions that have more Dark Secret cards. So I really like these. I really like this idea of adding this kind of ulterior motive, or a secret objective, I guess you could say, to some of the warriors. So for instance, let's see this. Take a look at this one here for the secret map. You have a map which leads to a chamber filled with treasure. If you ever get to a point where you would have to turn back, then you may explore beyond what would normally be a dead end. Take an objective room at random and clip it onto the board. This room is illuminated and you will not need the lantern to enter. If you enter, roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, it's a trap. Roll on the objective room monster table, but take no treasure. 3 to 4, it's the wrong room. Take an event card, which is resolved as usual. 5 to 6, treasure. Take an event card, resolve as usual, and then take an extra 1d3 treasure cards for yourself. So that's pretty cool. If you were playing a warrior, and you got this Dark Secret card, you would have a secret map that only you knew about. And you would have to explore the dungeon and find that secret room. And then there's also, let's see here, Vengeance. You have a personal reason for going on this adventure, Vengeance. Your arch enemy is reputed to dwell in this cave system, and you are out to destroy the monster once and for all. Write down in secret what type of monster you are after. When you first meet this type of monster, you go absolutely crazy, leaping into the fray with no thought for the others at all. Reveal which monster you want to kill to the other players. Until it is dead, you always go first, gaining a +1 attack, +1 strength, but a -1 to hit as you are attacking so wildly. If you kill the monster, you gain double the normal gold. So yeah, really neat, easy ways to add some variety to your games. What I would do probably is just make a chart and have it on paper. And then before each adventure, the player could write down what he got, and then that would be it. Okay, and then of course we have our full page advertisement for the Chaos Warrior. Okay, so that was issue 190, and now we're coming to 191. This is an absolutely awesome issue right here. I'm not sure who did that cover. Let's see. That was Mark Gibbons. I do not know who that is. It almost looks like, I thought maybe from a distance, it almost looks like Simon Bisley's art. But it's not. I am not familiar with him at all. So this is a kind of a bigger issue here. Got a couple things coming up. Let's see here. This month's releases, The Catacombs of Terror, and we're back to prices in pounds, $19.99. So the price hasn't gone up at all. And the War Dancer Warrior Pack for $6.99. A selection of the Catacombs of Terror event and treasure cards. So they gave you a nice little preview there. Oh, and here's the War Dancer. Agile and deadly, the latest warrior to be released, the Elf War Dancer fights with the grace and control so typical of his race. The War Dancer brings swift death to his enemies with the magic swords of Orion, whilst protected from danger by the powerful enchantments of the Belt of Ariel. All right, so let's see here. So we have a full page ad for the Catacombs of Terror here. Okay, now we are to this awesome spread here. So Heavy Metal, of course, is their modeling section, their terrain building, painting, that kind of thing. And this is by Mike McVeigh. So Mike McVeigh is Games Workshop's miniature painting and modeling expert. For the past 8 years, Mike has been painting and modeling with Citadel miniatures to a standard that most people can only dream of. That is true. A few issues ago, we showed Mike's brilliant Emperor and Horus diorama. Since then, Mike has been hard at work on a number of projects, including the amazing Warhammer Quest model shown on the following pages. So here's a little picture of the 40K one. I have not seen that one. I need to get that issue because I would love to see it. But this thing is just awesome. This is just a huge diorama for Warhammer Quest, and I'm just going to kind of go over this. You can pause it if you want to see in more detail. But it starts in these upper chambers, kind of looks like maybe like a jail door there or something, or somebody being trapped inside. And then there's a door outside, and there's a cave here, right? And then as you go down through the building, come across here, there's this awesome bridge with this elf warrior there, this guy here. As you can tell, his paint job is much better than mine. I could only dream of painting that well. We have a troll slayer here, a minotaur. Got I forgot that guy's name, one of the little Tzeentch familiars. The warrior priest, another troll slayer. There's the necromancer. A necromantic hall or something. And then we come down, like underneath this building is a cave system with giant rats and trolls, night goblins. We've got the Imperial Noble there. Barbarian fighting the Lich Lord with the Tomb Champions. And it just keeps going and going. Got this building here. An orc layout. There's the wizard facing off against an orc. An ogre in his cave there. There's a close-up of the other rooms. But that is just amazing. I would love to see that in person, just to see how big it is. This is such an inspiration just to make even something. I could never make anything even nearly this good, but it would be really fun to work on something like this. I'll give you another kind of view of it here. So this is the kind of stuff that I think White Dwarf magazine really excelled at. Was even still, like, this is 20 plus years later, you know, getting you excited for the hobby and the hobbying aspect, and kind of just, I guess, sparking your imagination to try new things and to be, oh, that would be really cool to put this little room together, and it would give you inspiration. And of course, you know, when I was younger, I couldn't afford any of this stuff, but now that I can, it might be fun to try. It looks like he just built it in like a frame, maybe, because it doesn't look very deep. So it's kind of maybe some kind of like shadow box or something. Warhammer Quest, 1995, Mike McVeigh. I mean, I wonder if this is still like hanging or on display or something at the Games Workshop headquarters. Very cool. I love this. I could look at it for a long time. And then there's just one more thing. Let's see. Here's some cards that I haven't cut out yet. So these are actually on cardboard this time, not just the magazine paper. So 2 treasure cards for a Soul Stone and Blessed Water. All right. And then what do we have here? And there's our full page ad for the War Dancer. So yeah, that's it. That is a look at issue 191. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Next time, I think we're just going to skip straight ahead to the Death Blow issues, of which there are only 3. And then we will move on to the DIY. If you want to see more of the White Dwarf issues, let me know. I don't have a problem in doing them, but there's still quite a few here to go through, and I have like 3 more coming on the way. Oh yeah, I just built my Lion God last night. Finally got that guy built for KDM there. So yeah, if you want to see more, let me know and I'll do them. If not, that'll be it for the White Dwarf issues. And also let me know what you think about what I said in the beginning of the video tonight. So all right, you guys, well, take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye bye.